welcome to the very first episode of VoiceBridge, a space where we explore ideas, stories, and perspectives that bring people together from around the world. I am Veronica, and I'm so glad to be launching this journey with a topic that touches all of us. What is culture exchange, and why does it matter? In today's world, with globalization, travel, migration, and digital connections, cultures are constantly interacting. But how do we move beyond just observing and actually connect? To explore this topic, I'm joined by a very special guest, Sarah, an expert in intercultural communication, a passionate traveler, and someone who has worked on global projects that connect people across borders. Sarah, thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for the warm welcome. I'm Sarah, and I'm really excited to be here as today's speaker on the podcast. I'm looking forward to answering your questions and sharing my thoughts on this important topic.
Let's start with the basics. What exactly does the term culture exchange mean? How would you personally define it?
Cultural exchange really matters today because our world is more connected than ever. It helps people understand each other better, even if they come from very different places. When we share cultures, we break down stereotypes, build empathy, and learn to respect differences. For individuals, it can be a life-changing experience. You grow, you challenge your own beliefs, and you become more open-minded. For societies, it creates more harmony and cooperation, so it has really crucial impact for everyone.
Culture exchange is a broad concept. In your opinion, what are some of the most common or meaningful forms of culture exchange? For example, student exchange programs, food, music, volunteering, art, digital communities.
I think all forms of cultural exchange can be meaningful. It really depends on the person and what they are interested in. Some people connect through food, music, or art, while others prefer volunteering or studying abroad. But to me, the crucial part is when people you meet. If the people around you are kind, open, and willing to share their culture in a respectful way, that's what makes the experience truly special and unforgettable.
Now, let's talk about the deeper meaning. Why do you think culture exchange matters in the modern world? What kind of impact can it have on individuals and societies?
There are so many people living on the earth, and each of us comes from a unique culture with different traditions, habits, and beliefs. Cultural exchange is when people from different parts of the world share the parts of their culture with each other, like food, language, values, or ways of life. Personally, I see cultural exchange as a really inspiring experience. It's a way to connect, learn from others, and see the world from a new perspective.
Sometimes the most powerful moments come from personal experience. Have you ever had a culture exchange that changes the way you saw the world or yourself? What was the moment like?
Yes, I have. I've been lucky to visit around 12 countries, and each one taught me something new. But I think one moment that really stayed with me was when I visited China for 2 times. I realized how different people's daily lives can be, what they eat, how they study, how they show respect, and yet deep down we all want the same things like kindness, connection, and understanding. That made me reflect my own habits and values. I started seeing the world with more curiosity and less judgment. It wasn't just about visiting a one place, it felt like I was growing as a person. Also, I daily use their studying life hacks, and it really helps.
Many people want to explore other cultures, but they are afraid of doing something wrong or offending someone. What advice would you give to those who want to engage with different cultures in a respectful and thoughtful way? How can someone balance curiosity with sensitivity?
Young people play a huge role in a cultural exchange because we often open more ideas, adaptable, and eager to connect with youth globally. We are the future's leaders and innovators, and our engagement is build bridges between communities. So we will do everything to make our goal for real. Even if someone can't travel abroad, they can still join cultural exchange online through language exchange apps, online volunteering, or by simply listening to our podcast. Every small interaction matters. You don't need a plane ticket to learn from another culture.
Let's talk about young people. What role do youth play in culture exchange today? And what can students do if they can't travel abroad?
So, the first step is to be open and ready to learn. So, approach new cultures with a genuine desire to learn, not to judge. Research traditions, values, be curious but also humble. Ask questions, listen more than you speak, and don't assume that your way is the only right way. My good tip is observe first, participate second. That's the way you show respect and avoid doing something that might feel wrong in another culture.
Thank you so much for joining us on this very first journey with VoiceBridge. Today's conversation reminded us that culture exchange isn't just an idea, it's a powerful way to grow, connect, and understand the world and each other more deeply. This is just the beginning. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to give it a like, subscribe to our YouTube channel, TikTok, Instagram, and turn on notification so you won't miss the stories ahead. See you next time, and until then, stay curious, stay kind, and keep your heart open to the world.